It's an idea more than 20 years in the making to build a $1 billion year-round ski resort in southeast British Columbia. Now, after one of the most extensive environmental reviews in BC history, the project has been approved for the Jumbo Valley, and that has sparked a jumbo debate. We sent the National's Duncan McHugh up to the spectacular site in the Purcell Mountains.
Daybreak near Invermere. And Oberto Oberti has big plans for an important day of heliskiing.
Your safety is what is important to me today.
He's hosting visitors from France who want to see the Glacier, where Oberti hopes to build a ski resort. But the skiers have a welcoming party.
Golden is good. It's only 1 hour away.
We are a free country. They express their opinion. I think it would have been more delicate if they had not done it for our French guests.
To understand this, it helps to know Oberti's backstory. A Vancouver architect on a 22-year journey fueled by a dream.
That people will be there in the mountain, and the next morning they will go up to the glaciers and be able to ski down, or at least see that, you know.
Those glaciers are majestic. The Jumbo Valley, the heart of the Purcell mountain range. Ever since Oberti first visited this place in 1990, he wanted to build here.
My dream was really to do something better than what had been done before in North America, and to bring the skiers where the snow is, and also where you could do year-round glacier skiing, as I had done in the Alps.
His idea? The Jumbo Glacier Resort, a potential $1 billion investment, over 6,000 bed units, projected to attract thousands of daily visitors. That tourism potential excited many local businesses. But united odd bedfellows, hunters, environmentalists, backcountry enthusiasts.
My view of what should be the philosophy that leads the development of the province and of Canada may be different from yours. Have you prepared any other documentation?
To win environmental approvals, Oberti accepted almost 200 conditions to create a green project and protect bears.
And sir, here are 1,600 names of people who don't want this project.
But Jumbo was a hot potato. The process dragged on and on. Investors came and went. Still,
the more we designed it and studied, the more, I have to confess, fell in love with it.
The project will provide local job creation and economic growth for the region.
When, out of the blue last month, the BC government finally gave the green light. Reaction in Invermere from political and business leaders was divided.
The Chamber of Commerce was very pleased by the announcement.
The District of Invermere has a position opposing the development of Jumbo Resort.
The approval even surprised Oberti, who got a call right away from a major French resort operator, which sent over this technical team. Yes, the skiing is incredible, and this is a scouting trip for the French to imagine over 20 lifts and gondolas linking 4 glaciers.
We are thinking about the best place in the world for skiing, and we think that perhaps Jumbo is one of the top 2 or 3 resorts that can be done.
Yet, when the group heads for lunch in an old sawmill site, they're not alone.
We know that hunters and railway tracks kill way more grizzlies than resorts ever do.
That's definitely true, but we know that real estate displaces more bears than anything else. So
the resort's VP wants a debate. The French seem content to listen.
I guess the main message that you as investors need to take home is that people in the Kootenays are not going to stand for this. We've got 19 ski resorts within a 5-hour drive of here.
So are you a ski area economist?
Oberti shrugs it off.
Great projects attract people. And, well, as you can see, they attract opponents too.
How'd opponents know to come here? Ask guide Rod Gibbons, who spent the trip biting his tongue.
There is another run that we're going to do everything we can to fight this development. This first avalanche path, you can see where the aspen trees are that going across the road. It is called the Big Dragon.
So there's regular avalanches there?
That's right.
The manager of RK Heliski takes me on a separate trip to point out avalanche zones on the access road. But his real message, the resort will displace his company's prime heliskiing tenure.
This proposal, in their eyes and the government's eyes, has bigger potential numbers attached to it than the amount of money and tax support that they get from RK Heliski, because we're a much smaller company in that. One's been actually paying their bills for decades, and one's just a proposal in that, and that's the part that's hard to take.
Still, business is business.
Developer for this project has offered to buy them out as a sign of good faith and market, of course.
I mean, who's going to build a resort in the Vatican?
Spiritual claims are tougher to deal with. As this PR video outlines, several First Nations, known as the Ktunaxa Nation, oppose the resort. To them, Jumbo Valley is Gatmuk, a sacred place.
Grizzly bear is the chief up in these mountains here.
Resort approval leaves Chief Lorne Chauvard none too pleased.
By no means are we just going to lie down and take this. We are definitely going to be exploring options to try and stop the resort.
Does it mean lawsuits?
If that's an option, then that's an option.
One thing's for sure, government lawyers aren't sold on the Ktunaxa Aboriginal title claim to the valley. Because title may belong to the Shuswap Indian Band.
We'll be up there doing as much business as we can. That's self-government.
Dean Martin runs economic development for the band, who also traditionally use the valley. The band, partners in this golf course, partners at this mall, have agreed to a package of jobs, land, and a First Nations voice in the resort's development.
We're very concerned about the environment, not only here, but up there, but everywhere around here.
Can a resort town be environmentally conscious up in that area?
You know, it can be, because it's starting from zero. If it was already existing up there, we might have some problems. I mean, that place has been mined, it's been logged, it's been skied, so it's not like the footprint isn't already there.
Paw prints are what Michael Proctor worries about.
I'm here to provide some nice, objective, good, solid science to base those decisions on. In this case, that science is being sort of set aside.
He's a grizzly biologist, a pioneer of DNA hair snagging techniques that allow him to both count bears and, when tagged, even follow them. Only a couple bears reside in the valley, but he says 600 traverse the Purcells. And in a recent report backed by 18 other bear experts, Proctor says Purcell bears are at risk.
Their long-term survival is dependent on having the Purcell mountain population be one big whole.
Despite the resort's proposals to minimize bear-human conflict, monitor and manage bears, Proctor argues development will fragment bear habitat north and south of Jumbo, impede bear travel routes, and become a so-called population sink, attracting bears that ultimately will be killed.
We're spending millions of dollars in long-term research and millions of dollars of restoration ecology to fix this system, and having the Jumbo decision is kind of like going backwards while we're trying to fix it. We're swimming upstream and the current's getting stiffer.
Mr. Proctor is politicizing science here, so I think that he's trying to make an argument that himself does not probably believe in, and I am sure we will be able to work with Dr. Proctor to do the mitigation measures so they're successful.
Back in Invermere, the bear remains a symbol, and these folks just don't seem to give up, vowing to fight every permit and deadline that developers need to meet.
This valley is a wild valley, and it's part of the Kootenays. It's not just part of an international investor's dream.
Watching it all, realtor Dave McGrath, a resort supporter,
democracy and process has been followed, and there's a lot of people out there that support it, but we're not gonna be loud about it. We're just gonna quietly go about our business and let elected officials know what we think.
My experience of having to guide the proponents here a couple of weeks ago.
Rod Gibbons is here too to share his chat with the French visitors.
And then he went on to say, he goes, you know, with that kind of opposition, it might be pretty hard to build this resort.
If protests persist, will investors be scared off? No, says Oberti.
One philosopher said that passion leads reason. I don't believe it is true, and it should not be that way. But probably this philosopher, in some cases, was right. When passion leads reason, you know, you have to let the passion subside, and hopefully it will.
But passion has led humans to this remote valley for many purposes for many years. That passion shows no sign of waning in the jumbo debate. Duncan McHugh, CBC News, near Invermere, BC.